Hi everyone, my name's David and I'm going to talk to you today in this study skills session about setting you up for success on the Scholars Programme. Before we start the session, make sure you've got some paper and you've got a pen handy so that you can do the activities in this session. By the end of the session, we're going to have answered these three questions. What makes a successful university student? What skills will you need on the Scholars Programme? And how can you develop these skills? So to start with, I want you to imagine that you've got the ideal university student and you might want to draw a gingerbread person like I've done here. I'm going to ask you to pause the video in a second and I want you to have a go at listing as many personal qualities and as many academic skills as you can, things that make them a really great university student. For example, they might have the personal quality of being very good at persevering through challenges, and they might have the academic skill of being a really good writer. So pause the video for 1 minute here and see how many things you can come up with in both the personal qualities and academic skills category. You should now have a list of skills in the academic column and qualities in the personal qualities column. I'm going to show you the list that I came up with in a second, and I'm going to ask you to do three things. First of all, have a read through of what I've written. Second of all, if there's anything that I've got on my list that you don't have on yours, now's a good chance to add it onto your list. And third of all, have a think about whether there's anything that I've missed off my list that you had on yours. And you might want to go away and then have a think about why it was that was such an important quality or skill for you. So here's my list. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video again, read through the list, have a think about whether there's anything missing off your list or whether there's anything missing off my list. So we started today's session by thinking about what makes a great university student. We're going to think now about what makes a successful scholar on the Scholars Programme. As you'll see from this list, it's very similar. And I'm not going to spend any more time today talking about personal qualities. And the reason for that is that I believe that your teachers know that you are the sort of person who's already got a lot of these skills. So instead, we're going to focus on the academic skills you're going to need. Good essay writing, communicating ideas, bringing research together from other people, and note-taking. And what we're going to focus on in this session is good essay writing skills. On the next slide, I'm going to show you my 5 key ingredients for writing a really great essay. This might be a really good chance for you to practice your note-taking, so make sure you've got your paper and your pen handy. And as I'm talking, note down any key ideas or interesting takeaways that you want to use when it comes to writing your essays in the future. So here are my 5 top tips. Good spelling, grammar, and punctuation. It's always really important to carefully proofread your writing. But it's really important to think about your spelling, grammar, and punctuation to make sure that you're communicating your ideas as clearly as you can do. Clearly explaining your ideas. We're going to come on in a second to look at essay structure and how you can use your paragraphs to help you do this. Answering the question with a clear opinion. Essays are largely about explaining ideas, about making arguments, and about making sure that people understand your opinion. I always say to students, it's really important that you know exactly what you want to argue or you want to say before you start to write or even before you start to plan your essay. Showing more than one point of view on something is a really good way of showing that you've thought about all of the issues that are involved in the essay and that you understand lots of different arguments that people might have. And then including research from experts to back up your points. So including other people's ideas, including facts, figures, to show that your argument is based on research and evidence. Let's go back to clearly explaining your ideas and have a think about how you should structure your essay. So here we've got 4 key parts of an essay. On your paper, I want you to take a second and write a definition of each of these 4 things. Write a definition of the introduction, the main body, the conclusion, and the bibliography or reference list. You might also want to write an explanation of why these are important parts of an essay.